See, basically,
To increase reusability.
yes, yes,
To increase reusability.
yes, perfect. Yes, reusability we can increase with the help of template. How?
We code a general format, then we can use it for multiple data types.
Right, perfect. So once we create the template is created, then we can use it for different data types. Say for example, if we have created one stack class, you have already learned stack and queue concept in data structure. So can you create stacks for integer data type? Yes. Can you create it for float? Yes.
Yes.
Stack concept, yes. Stack concept can be used with any of the data type. Okay. But in programming language, when you data structure is what conceptually you understand stacks, queues, and all that, है their algorithms, push and pop instructions, and all that. But when it comes to implementation, so implementation करते वक्त, like you have to consider, say, if you are implementing data structure in C++, you can implement data structure in any of the language, C, Python, C++, any language you can implement data structures. Okay. So if we consider C++ for the implementation purpose of the data structure, then if I have to implement stack class, in that case, one stack class I have to create for all integer storage, है ना? मुझे अगर वो stack integer type की करनी है तो I have to have one class. अगर मेरा चेंज हो जाता है एक ही प्रोग्राम में, फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई हैव टू क्रिएट अनदर स्टैक, but now for float data type. So in that case, again I need to create one more class, है ना? वो compatibility, because once I create one class for integer, I cannot use it for float or double or any other data type, है ना? So that restriction is there with the programming language. So in order to overcome those, we are using template concept. टेम्पलेट कॉन्सेप्ट हम क्यों यूज करते हैं? क्योंकि हम एक ही लाइक विल क्रिएट some notification was there, no? I thought somebody wanted to join. Okay, so why do we create template is, no, once that template is created, that class is created, I can use the same class for integer stack, float stack, double stack, any type of stack. I can use character type of stack. For any type of stack implementation, I can use the same class. I need not write that class again and again, once for integer data type, then next time for float data type. So once it is ready, that class is ready, then I can reuse it again and again as per my requirement, है ना? मैं इंटीजर के लिए भी कर सकती हूँ, फ्लोट के लिए भी कर सकती हूँ. तो कैसे करते हैं हम? कॉमन ऊपर एक टेम्पलेट क्लास क्रिएट करते हैं, है ना? वी डोंट मेंशन द डेटा टाइप देयर. While creating the class, we don't mention the data type, but while creating the object, we mention the data type. If you remember, हम कैसे करते हैं? Like when we create, here I'll write just to explain. See, when we create the template class, we don't mention the data type, but while creating the object, जब आप object बनाते हैं, suppose मैं stack, ये class है आपका, stack is a class, and if I have to create one object, ओके अब ये ऑब्जेक्ट मुझे किस टाइप का चाहिए? इंटीजर टाइप का चाहिए. तो हियर व्हाइल क्रिएटिंग ऑब्जेक्ट आई मेंशन इन एंगुलर ब्रैकेट इंट. ये आपका कौन सा क्लास है? टेम्पलेट क्लास है. तो टेम्पलेट क्लास में मैंने उसको इंटीजर करके नहीं डिक्लेयर किया. आई जस्ट यूज दैट टेम्पलेट क्लास वॉट एवर आई हैव क्रिएटेड. बट व्हाइल क्रिएटिंग द ऑब्जेक्ट आई यूज स्पेसिफिक डेटा टाइप. ओके, तो एक ही प्रोग्राम में एक ही क्लास में मल्टीपल टाइम्स यूज कर सकती हूँ. नाउ सपोज आई वांट टू यूज दिस स्टैक क्लास फॉर क्रिएटिंग फ्लोट टाइप ऑफ स्टैक. ठीक है, तो मैं एक अलग ऑब्जेक्ट बनाऊंगी, ऑब्जेक्ट 2, which is of type float. Okay, so one stack, one template type of class I can reuse again and again for different data types. Okay, so like this is the very purpose of introducing this template concept in C++. Okay, so once that class is written, you can reuse it again and again, okay, for different data types. So if that is the concept of template, what is standard template library? अब आप बता सकते हो what is standard template library as per your, I mean, any guessing what it could be? What that name suggests you? See, template is like all template. This is a library, okay? Library, you all know in IOStream and all these libraries, Conio and String and all these different libraries are there. Okay, so these libraries hold the predefined function. Okay, they have predefined function, set of function which you can directly use. Predefined है, तो आपको वो define नहीं करना पड़ता है उस function को. You can directly use those set of functions, है ना? जैसे string comparison के function है, strcmp, strcat, you can directly use those function, है ना? We are not defining, we are using them. So likewise, टेम्पलेट के लिए भी स्टैंडर्ड टेम्पलेट क्लासेस आर ऑलरेडी अवेलेबल इन दिस लाइब्रेरी. इस लाइब्रेरी में ऑलरेडी वो क्लासेस अवेलेबल है. ओके, एंड दोस क्लासेस यू कैन यूज इट. Okay, you can reuse those classes which are already available in this library. Okay, and they have some standard definition. Okay, so we have some predefined template classes as well as template functions which are defined in this STL. This is a library, standard template library. This is what it is, nothing but a library which contains all the template classes and functions which we frequently required, जो हमें बार बार हमें चाहिए, like say for example searching sorting techniques या arrays आपको बार बार लगते हैं, तो arrays unnecessarily different types of arrays we are declaring. Instead of that, can we have a common template array class and you reuse it as per our requirement? कभी integer type का array, कभी float type का array. We can use that standard class which is already available for creating different types of arrays. Okay, similarly stack, तो कुछ standard template classes and functions are already available in this library. कुछ available है, कुछ available नहीं है. जो नहीं है available वो तो आपको पूरे सब you need to define all those as per your application requirement. लेकिन जो readymade functions, जो readymade template classes available है, why not to use them ना? अगर compiler ने हमारे लिए readily करके रखे हैं library में, why not to use them? Okay. So in this particular chapter, in this particular unit, the aim is to study which are the standard template classes and functions available and how to use them. मतलब अभी हम उसके इम्प्लीमेंटेशन में नहीं जाएंगे. इस पूरे यूनिट का एम क्या है कि व्हाट आर द स्टैंडर्ड क्लासेस, टेम्पलेट क्लासेस एंड टेम्पलेट फंक्शंस अवेलेबल एंड हाउ टू यूज देम. ओके, सो दिस विल बी द फोकस. I hope it is clear. This should be the objective to study this particular unit. कि कौन कौन से आपको predefined template classes available है इस library में, classes and function, that awareness, at least a few important ones you should be aware, and then how to use it. Okay, and overall standard template library का structure कैसे होता है, what all things are available in this particular library. So that is the purpose, or that is the you can say the learning objectives for this particular unit. Okay, so let us start with the introduction. It is an effort to standardize C++. It provides general purpose template classes and functions that implement many popular and commonly used algorithms and data structure. तो जो commonly used algorithms है, जैसे कुछ searching sorting techniques है which are frequently used, या कुछ data structure है जैसे vectors, queues, lists, tags. So these are the commonly used data structure. तो उसके लिए हम खुद कोड नहीं लिखेंगे, जो predefined available है standard classes will directly use them. Okay. It also defines various routines that access them. हाँ, तो उसे access कैसे करना है? These are the set of classes. So how to access them? तो access करने के लिए we need some methods. So those are called as some routines or methods to access them. So those are also available. It can be applied to nearly any type of data. Almost all data types, built-in data types are covered here. STL has now become a part of ANSI standard C++ class library, which are defined in namespace standard. So already when we say using namespace standard, we already discussed this particular thing. Like when we say using namespace standard, all the libraries are already available in this standard namespace STD. Okay. So if you have observed, we do not mention any hash include conio.h, hash include string.h, because those libraries are already available in this namespace STD. So if they are already available, you need not explicitly include them. Otherwise, one by one, you need to include them. है ना, ये लाइब्रेरी है, ये जो लाइक STL इज बेसिकली अ लाइब्रेरी. सो इफ यू वांट टू यूज दो स्टैंडर्ड क्लासेस एंड फंक्शन, यू नीड टू इंक्लूड दोज लाइब्रेरी. बट अगर वो लाइब्रेरीज ऑलरेडी इसमें अवेलेबल है नेम स्पेस स्टैंडर्ड में, देन इन दैट केस यू नीड नॉट इंक्लूड देम. ओके, तो इट डिपेंड्स ऑन द IDE दैट यू यूज फॉर C++. मतलब कौन सा कंपाइलर आप यूज करते हो, उसमें अगर डायरेक्टली स्टैंडर्ड नेम स्पेस इट इज अवेलेबल, अनसाइज स्टैंडर्ड C++ में उन्होंने ऑलरेडी इसमें इंक्लूड करके रखे हैं, तो यू नीड नॉट इंक्लूड देम. बट अगर आपको कहीं पे एरर आता है कि दिस इज नॉट डिफाइंड और समथिंग लाइक दैट, इन दैट केस यू नीड टू इंक्लूड दोज लाइब्रेरीज. ओके, core key components of STL are containers, algorithms, and iterators. Okay, algorithms employ, so these three are the basic components: container, algorithm, and iterators. Okay, so algorithms employ iterators to perform operations stored in containers. अल्गोरिदम क्यों चाहिए हमें? एम्प्लॉय इटरेटर्स टू परफॉर्म ऑपरेशन स्टोर्ड इन कंटेनर. तो कंटेनर में जो भी ऑपरेशन, कंटेनर होल्ड्स ऑल द ऑपरेशंस. ओके, algorithms employ iterators to perform operations stored in container. So container you can consider as the data structure. मतलब आपके जो stack, queues, ये सब data structure है, vectors, array, these are data structure. So those are defined by the containers. Algorithms मतलब क्या है कि algorithms are the special algorithms like searching, sorting, and all these. Okay, so template algorithms or template functions. Okay, standard algorithms are available here. An iterator is how to access them. Okay, so this is how this structure works. Like this is the container. Okay, so container matlab, as I told you, these are the data structure, all the data structure, standard data structure, all classes are available here. ये सब आपके क्या है? Classes, standard classes available inside the container. Algorithms are the standard algorithms. Okay, all that implementation is already available. अब ये algorithm, see, for implementation of the algorithm you need data structure. आई होप दिस इज क्लियर इन डेटा स्ट्रक्चर, है ना. आप जब स्टैंडर्ड एल्गोरिदम्स एग्जीक्यूट करते हो तो डेटा स्टोर करने के लिए आपको डेटा स्ट्रक्चर लगते हैं. एल्गोरिदम इज व्हाट? दैट एंटायर लॉजिक. वो लॉजिक इंप्लीमेंट करना है तो आपको डेटा चाहिए, तो डेटा विल बी स्टोर्ड इन डेटा स्ट्रक्चर्स. तो वो जो डेटा स्ट्रक्चर है आपके स्टैंडर्ड, बी इट अ क्यू, बी इट अ स्टैक, एरे, एनीथिंग, दोज डेटा स्ट्रक्चर्स आर नथिंग बट इन STL दीज आर कंटेनर्स. जो अलग अलग टाइप के अल्गोरिदम, कॉम्प्लेक्स कोड है आपका, जो भी कोड है, दैट इज नथिंग बट अल्गोरिदम. एंड इटरेटर इज हाउ दीज अल्गोरिदम्स एक्सेस ऑल दीज डेटा स्ट्रक्चर. सो इंटरमीडिएट कुछ मेथड्स है जिनको हम बोलते हैं इटरेटर. सो दिस इज द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द STL. Now detailed description is given. The container is an object. Now we are talking about this part, containers, data structure. The container is an object that actually stores data and provides member function to access them. मतलब basic जो हमारे class है ना, class मतलब क्या है कि वो सब member data we declare and the functions also, member function to access that data, है ना. So this is nothing but containers. Then a container is a holder object that stores a collection of other object, that is its element, है ना. तो storage purpose के लिए, just a moment. So this is about containers. The container is what? It is nothing but the object or the classes which actually stores the data and its members. Okay, to access those data we need member. So three types of containers are there basically. Sequence containers, associate containers, and derived containers. Okay, तो sequence container क्या हो सकते हैं? What is sequence container? Which operate in a sequence, है ना. कुछ एग्जाम्पल दे सकते हो आप सीक्वेंस कंटेनर के? Which are the sequence? Sorry, come again.
Arrays.
Arrays, yes. Arrays is a sequence container. Very true. Then associate container के
Linked
कुछ,
list.
sorry,
Linked list.
linked
Linked
list.
list.
Yes, linked list is also that way. Then next is what? Associate container. Associate container कुछ आपने study किया है in data structure?
No.
No? Okay.
Train.
No.
Sorry. Okay, no problem. See, sequence container is what they are stored in memory. They are stored in a sequence. जैसे कि आपका array है, vectors है ना? Q is also stored in a sequence. Okay, list आपने पढ़ा है data structure में. If you have learned list is also a sequence container. Okay. तो then जो कि sequentially stored है and access भी उनको sequentially करते हैं हम, है ना? So those are sequence container. Next is associative containers. Associative container मतलब like sets, map. Have you learned sets and map?
No, ma'am.
No,
Okay.
ma'am.
ठीक है. तो सेट्स में बेसिकली कैसे होता है कि यूनिक वैल्यूज आर स्टोर्ड. ओके, यूनिक वैल्यू स्टोर्ड होते हैं इसमें so that you can directly access. मतलब इसमें रिपीटेशन नहीं है. सेट्स में जनरली we store the unique values, so directly we can access any of the unique values there, है ना? डुप्लीकेट डेटा जैसे कि हम कोई रोल नंबर स्टोर करते हैं तो रोल नंबर शुड बी यूनिक एंड ऑल दैट. सो दोस टाइप ऑफ data structures or those type of containers are called as associative containers. Okay, and the final one are derived containers. Okay, तो derived container मतलब जैसे कि stacks and queues, all these are derived container. Okay, these are not the basic container but these are derived one. Okay, तो ये किस टाइप से काम करते हैं? Like in bi-directional you can access, in any direction you can access all those contents. Okay, so there is a standard way to access, like it depends. मतलब derived container, stack and queues, you can implement it using, you might have studied this कि derived container जो stack and queues है आपने दोनों भी implementation देखे होंगे. Like using arrays also you can implement stack and queues, and using linked list also you can implement, है ना? Right ना?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
So like that, these are the basic categories. When we'll discuss their example, I'll tell you those things in detail also. Okay. But these three different types of containers are there. Now next is allocators and predicate. Okay. So allocators manage memory allocation for a container. Okay. How much memory to be allocated. This is internal structure. You need not, you should be aware about this. है ना? आपको अवेयरनेस चाहिए because this is already available. Just I am telling you what all things are there. ये containers and ये आपको define नहीं करने हैं. You should be aware that these type of containers are available, how they are stored and all that. अवेयरनेस, बट आपको इम्प्लीमेंट नहीं करने, आपको सिर्फ उनको यूज करना है. तो हम ज्यादा डिटेल में क्या देखेंगे, उनका सिंटैक्स के हाउ टू यूज इट. ओके, तो अलोकेटर इज नथिंग बट मैनेजिंग मेमोरी रिक्वायर्ड फॉर दोस कंटेनर. प्रेडिकेट इज व्हाट? Some containers use a special type of function called as predicate. There are two variations of predicate, unary and binary. Unary predicate takes one argument while a binary predicate takes two. These functions return true or false result, but the precision condition that make them return true or false are defined by you. Okay, so this is related to what your memory allocation. Okay, then next is as I explained you that sequence container. So related to sequence container, how they operate and all that. So elements are stored in a linear sequence in sequence container. Like vector, if you take vector is example, dynamic array capable of growing as needed. See, when you use array, what is the limitation of the array? Array limitation is what? Whatever size you declare for the array, throughout your program, the size will be maintained as it is. Okay, so if you declare array with size 5, then throughout your program it will remain 5 only. So what is the advantage of using, what is the difference between vector and array? यहाँ पे वेक्टर में क्या होता है कि डायनेमिक मेमोरी एलोकेशन होता है. मतलब इन एरे व्हाट हैपेंस, अगर इफ साइज इज 5 and you put 5 element in that array, and after that if you try to put the next element, you will get array index out of bound, है ना, exception मिलेगा आपको, array index out of bound. But in case of vector what happens, no, dynamically that array size is adjusted, okay, or allocated by the compiler itself. मतलब वेक्टर एक स्टैंडर्ड क्लास है, टेम्पलेट क्लास है, जो कि STL में अवेलेबल है. It is similar to array. Vector कुछ अलग नहीं है. It is like array only, but difference is that array is fixed size, whereas vector is what dynamically that size can be grown as per your requirement. अब कैसे वो होगा कि suppose initially you declare one vector. I'll give you one example also, but just to clarify this point, एक vector आपने declare किया है initially, and then you started using it. Okay. So suppose initially आपने limit दिया है 5, तो 5 elements you already put. Then when you try to put 6th element in the vector, automatically the size of the vector gets double. मतलब आपका पहले आपने कितनी साइज दी थी 5, आपने 5 elements already डाल दिया, and if you try to put 6th element in that, no, automatically it increases the size. Okay. कितने से इंक्रीज होगा डायरेक्टली, इट विल गेट डबल. मतलब जो 5 का वेक्टर था वो डायरेक्टली 10 का वेक्टर बन जाएगा. ओके. तो दैट डायनेमिक allocation of the memory is also taken care by this vector class. Okay. So this is how it operates. मतलब सिर्फ सिंपल एरे नहीं दिया है उन्होंने, लाइक वेक्टर इज आल्सो प्रोवाइडेड, जहां पे वो डायनेमिक मेमोरी एलोकेशन इज ऑटोमेटिकली डन एज पर योर रिक्वायरमेंट. Then DQ is what? Double-ended queue. I hope you know this concept in data structure. So implemented as a dynamic array that can grow from both the ends. अब ये किस टाइप का वेक्टर, एक डायरेक्शन में डायनेमिकली ग्रो होगा. डबल एंडेड क्यू दोनों डायरेक्शन में ग्रो हो सकती है ना. डबल एंडेड क्यू मतलब क्या है कि दोनों साइड से आप ऑपरेशन परफॉर्म कर सकते हो उस क्यू पे, है ना. So in from front as well as from the rear end, both the ends we can grow that queue. Okay, so that is the DQ. Then list is what? Your linked list, doubly linked list, where each element in the container contains pointers that point at the next and previous elements in the list. Okay, it is a doubly linked list. Doubly linked list मतलब वो node दोनों side से connected होता है ना. Doubly, you know, previous pointer and next pointer, 2 pointers are there, है ना. So this type of doubly linked list is also available, which is called as list. Okay, so these are the examples of sequence container. Then associative containers are also there. These are defined to support direct access to element, okay, using keys. They are not sequential. As I told you, unique keys होते हैं इसमें. Okay, तो direct access is possible for associative container. जैसे कि set है, set is holding unique keys. तो अगर unique key है, मतलब पूरे क्लास में suppose 72 students are there in your class, but if I say roll number 20, तो मुझे पता है कि roll number 20 ही reply करेगा. So like that, some unique key is there, okay, in these type of container, using which you can directly access. जैसे मैं 72 स्टूडेंट में से एक रोल नंबर देती हूँ, तो डायरेक्टली आई कैन एक्सेस दैट, I can call that particular student. Okay, तो वो एक्सेसिंग हुआ ना. आई एम नॉट going in sequence कि पहले रोल नंबर 1 के साथ मैच करो, 2 के साथ, 3 के साथ. नो, नॉट लाइक दैट. Directly I will say roll number 20, तो roll number 20 will reply. So that is nothing but direct access. Okay, तो direct access के लिए मुझे क्या चाहिए? कुछ तो यूनिक की चाहिए ना. Like अगर दो लोगों का roll number 20 होगा, तो then it will create ambiguity, isn't it? तो unique key has to be there, right ना. So this is about associative container. So some unique key is there using which you can directly access those elements. Okay. So it is not sequential. अगर direct access बन गया तो sequential नहीं होगा. Previous containers were, these are the sequence container, कि जिसमें हमें traverse करना पड़ेगा, पहले पहला element, then next element, third element, fourth element, like that. Whereas in associative container, directly you can access any of the element with the help of some unique element. So which are the types? Sets store unique elements. The elements are stored according to their values. Multi-set is what? Duplicate elements are allowed. ये थोड़ा special type है उसका multi-set. Then map is also called as associative array, It is a set where each element is pair called as key value pair. इसमें कैसे स्टोर होते हैं? की वैल्यू पेयर जैसे. Okay, मतलब like in Python also dictionary concept is there. Key value pair मतलब कैसे, आपको example दे. हाँ, like बैंक कस्टमर है. बैंक कस्टमर का उसके अकाउंट का एक यूनिक अकाउंट आईडी होता है ना, अकाउंट नंबर वी कॉल इट एज. तो अकाउंट नंबर इज अ की, और उसकी वैल्यू मतलब उसके सारे डिटेल्स, उसका नाम, कस्टमर का नाम, उसका बैलेंस एंड ऑल दिस थिंग्स. ओके, तो की वैल्यू पेयर जैसे हम मैप में स्टोर कर सकते हैं. की वैल्यू पेयर, हियर ओनली यूनिक वैल्यूज आर स्टोर. सेट में सिर्फ यूनिक वैल्यू स्टोर होते हैं. इसमें कैसे होते हैं? की एंड वैल्यू पेयर के साथ, मतलब वो कस्टमर का आईडी भी होगा और उसके बाकी डिटेल भी, लाइक उसका नेम हो सकता है. दिस वे पेयर, इन पेयर्स दोज वैल्यूज आर स्टोर. ओके, and multi map is also called as dictionary which allows duplicate keys also. तो जहां पे मल्टी सेट मल्टी मैप्स आ गया, वहां पे वो डुप्लीकेट एलिमेंट्स अलाउ करते हैं, बट सेट एंड मैप में यूनिक एलिमेंट्स आर देयर. ओके, and then finally the derived containers. Okay, which are also called as container adapters. So stack, you know that it is a container where elements operate in LIFO manner, last in first out, और यहाँ पे first in first out queue में. Okay, priority queue, first element out is always the highest priority. Okay, हम priority along with this rule, first in first out, we give the priority also to the element, then it is priority queue. So these are the basic types. We are not going to use, like, these are available, all these type of container, but we'll practically we can discuss only one or two which are important ones. Okay, examples of these container, and later on maybe if required you can explore as per your application or project requirement. You can explore few more containers which are available. Okay, so tomorrow we'll discuss example based on this. I mean, you know, on Monday's lecture, we'll discuss few example based on this STL concept. Okay, so this is about the introduction to your STL, that is standard template library.